Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 6th. And every morning when I start out to look for a rant, I am hoping to find some piece of information that will be humorous and will make our day. But more often than not, I find a piece of distressing news. And this morning, that's what happened. I found a piece of very distressing news. I found a story about a drug bust. A drug bust in Arizona, where they recently seized the largest amount of fentanyl pills in the agency's history. A 20-year-old, 20 years old, mind you, was detained at the Lukeville port of entry after attempting to transport around 4 million fentanyl pills that weighed more than 1,000 pounds. And that's according to the Customs and Border Protection officers. And that organization, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers, have seized more than 15,000 pounds of fentanyl so far in 2024. That's what the federal data shows. Fentanyl, for those of us who don't know anything about it, I'm not a drug user. I never used a drug in my life. I never smoked a marijuana cigarette. I never did any of those things. I did other crazy things, but I avoided drugs. Fentanyl is a strong synthetic opioid that is about 50 times more potent than heroin, and it was involved in almost 70% of the overdose deaths in the last year. And that's according to the CDC. The narcotic kills tens of thousands of people in the U.S. annually. Why? Why do people find it necessary to get their hands on narcotic pills that kills you if you use too many of them? What's wrong? What is wrong in this country that we have a drug epidemic? This historic bust occurred early last month. The man arrived at the Lukeville port of entry driving a pickup truck that was hauling a sport recreational vehicle on a utility trailer. And the man, who the authorities said was from Arizona, and his vehicle was sent for a more intensive inspection following the officer's initial U.S. entry inspection. And that's when the guy found out he was really in big trouble. Because during this second inspection, the officers found what I will call anomalies in the trailer's frame. And that's when they brought in the dog. You know the dogs. They sniff around. And the officers and the canine team found 234 packages of drugs hidden in the frame. And the packages contained about 4 million blue fentanyl pills that weighed more than 1,000 pounds. Now these guys had to be pretty sharp if they could calculate how many pills there were. That's a job for a mathematician. A handful of pills was 20 pills, X, Y, and Z, and then you got 4 million pills. Pretty amazing. In any event, this is the largest fentanyl seizure chapter in the history of the Border Patrol, and it reflects on the determination that has been put in place to protect our nation and to attempt to disrupt the criminal activities of those drug dealers and the drug cartel. That's what the commissioner of the inspection team said. And I can see it. When you stop a haul like this, that's a big deal, and you gotta let the public know that you're doing a great job. Because drugs in this country kill many, many, many. And this drug seizure was part of the Border Patrol's Operation Apollo, Arizona, and the Operation Plaza Strike, which focuses on collecting fentanyl-related intelligence and disrupting cartel operations that facilitate the flow of fentanyl into this country. And this year alone, the Border Patrol has seized more than 15,000 pounds of fentanyl. That's amazing. Are we a drug-infected country? I would have to say yes to that. They have deaths that are related to fentanyl. Fentanyl is a strong opioid, 50 times more potent than heroin, and it was involved in 70% of the overdose deaths this year. That's according to the data from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. This narcotic kills tens of thousands of people in the U.S. annually, and we have a major problem trying to stop it, because we have a population that can't control their own feeling. They have to do something, and they take drugs. That's a disgrace. Let me give you one important piece of information that will reflect on this problem. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration has seized more than 30 million fentanyl pills and more than 4,100 pounds of fentanyl powder this year. And that amount of fentanyl represents 208 million deadly doses. That means it's enough for 2/3 of this country to get one shot. The drug problem in this country is a disgrace. So I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day.